I'm Carla. So tonight we're starting where we left off in the last episode, which was ghost ships, where Preston was gonna start with a story. So we're gonna let him do his ghost ship story tonight, and then I have one about Foreboding. So
Nice.
yeah, so let's get into it. Let's like,
Get
subscribe.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe, share if you like it enough. Don't be afraid to comment anytime.
All right.
Keep it nice. We're just learning here.
So we'll talk about a little story that's a local story, actually. This one here is about a ship that they see in the Northumberland Strait. This one starts off where, it's a little local community down there. We'll let's just give it a name, eh? We'll say Shetty Camp.
There you go.
Shetty Camp. We'll say Shetty Camp.
Shetty Camp, Port Hood, yep.
Yeah, so, Port Hood, any one of those spots will work.
Yeah, on
because
that side
this
of
is
the
pretty
island.
much where this story comes from, this part of the tale anyways. So, there was a few fishermen there having a little fire on the shore there one night, having some drinks there, a few local fishermen, and a little party, and anyways, it was a little bit of a foggy night. It was kind of moving in, I guess you could say, but it was coming in from the water, so it was pretty thick out on water. So anyways, basically, it looked like they could see something on fire out there in the distance. And Jimmy looks at Johnny, he says, Johnny, he says, you see that? So I'm just saying Jimmy and Johnny. It's just easier getting names, right?
Yeah.
And,
Chances are that's her names.
Yeah. Billy over there, right? He's like, yeah, I see that too, right? So anyways, they're all looking in the distance, and they see this too, and they're like, holy shit, we better get going and check that out and see what's going on, guys. It looks like there might be a ship out there on fire. So they get out there on the boats, and they start getting out there, like going out there, right? And it's foggy, so they keep losing it because the fog is moving and moving and moving, right? So, like, as they're sailing, they're losing sight of it, and then they'll see it, and they catch. Then they start hearing the screams,
right?
Like, and that's what really did it for them, right? They, we gotta move, man.
We gotta find them.
Yeah, let's go. Big panic was on, right? So, they just kept gearing towards where they last seen it because it disappears again now through the fog, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know how Cape Breton is, the fog gets so thick, you cut it with a knife sometimes.
Oh, yeah, you can hardly see your hand in front of your face.
You can't even see the end of your car sometimes, right? In these coastal places, and some of these are shores. So, anyways, get back to the story. So, they start, looking for it again, and then they catch glide of it again, and then they can hear the screams again, right? All these people screaming. So they start sailing faster and faster and faster, and then now they're like, what the heck's going on, right?
Yeah.
We should be here now. This is where this was.
Yeah.
And it's foggy.
Yeah.
And they can't hear no sounds anymore. Just stopped.
Wow.
It was just like, and then they're like, what? Like. It was nuts, but like in that situation when you're on the water like that and you're a fisherman or you see something like that you don't understand, and then you don't know, right? Like I said, you can't discredit somebody because they clearly seen what they seen.
That's right. Well, it's the Mariner's Code, right? It's the Mariner's Code. If somebody's in distress,
if somebody's in trouble, you gotta go, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't know that it would have been a ghost ship. But they got out there was nothing, and they say that
almost like it's calling to your death, right? Yeah, because how do you get back now? The fog's so thick, you gotta get home.
And that's the thing, right? But I won't get into too much right now. But Carla, you do have a really cool story too.
Yes, I do. I have. It's a Foreboding story.
Yeah.
So, people talk about forerunners or things that'll happen that give you a clue, that you like, call it a bad feeling. I don't know, or gut call or whatever. So when I graduated college in '93, and I was playing on a fun league baseball team, and 2 weeks after I graduated, I was supposed to go to a game that night, and my cousin Ann was the captain of the team. And around noon that day, this I'll call it like a black cloud, like the heaviest feeling I've ever felt in my entire life. I've never felt anything like that again. So heavy, like death had his hands on my shoulders, like pushing me down, like weighing me down. This dark cloud, this horrible. If I don't, if I go to this game, I'm gonna die, and I'm not just saying like, oh my God, I would just die if that happened. Like, I'm talking. Every fiber of my being was saying, if you go to this baseball game, man, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Like literally, die. And so I phoned in, said I can't go, I can't do it, I can't go, I can't go. And so first she was like, okay. And then about an hour later she called me back. She's like, well, if you don't come, we got to forfeit because not enough people can show up, and you're the only person, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no. But she kept badgering me all afternoon. She kept badgering me. And then I was feeling bad. Now I'm going to wreck everybody's night because I got a bad feeling.
Asshole.
Yeah, exactly, right? Because I got a bad feeling, you know. You feel like an idiot, basically.
Yeah.
You know.
What a party pooper.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Stick in the mud, you know. So finally I said yes, okay, fine. And I thought to myself, well, you know, I'll just make sure I look both ways before I cross the street. Make sure I'm not walking into a hole or, you know, and just protect myself as much as I could. So I go to the baseball game and we start playing and nothing's happened, and I think, well, you know, okay, just settle into the game and play. And so I don't know if it was the second or the third inning, but I hit a run and I'm on first base. And then somebody hit the ball and I start running to second, and there's a girl on second base and she's about 5'1", about 100 pounds, and she catches the ball and I'm out, but she's standing square to the base. And I'm like hoofing it like a freight train. Just going as full steam ahead as fast as I could go. And when I realized she's not moving, I couldn't go a different direction. I couldn't change. I was coming in too fast. Mm-hmm. So I thought I'll just slide. Right? No problem. I've been playing ball for 14 years. I've slid a million times. I'll slide. But when I slid into the base, that day they forgot the short pegs and they had these really long ones and it was sticking out that much.
Yeah.
And my foot hit that and shattered. Shattered my ankle, broke my fib and tib, twisted my foot right around to my toes were pointing down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was hanging.
No, that's like a Jerry Lewis movement there, right there.
It was hanging there, man. It was just horrific. If you can imagine your foot that's supposed to look like that, pointing down. Not good. Not good. And the snap, or the shatter, they could hear an outfield, and they said, I bet you could have heard that a mile away. Like they said they heard it.
You could feel it a mile away.
They said they heard it like they were standing right there beside me, man. Like that's how loud it was. It was just horrific sound. Horrific sound, and I screamed, oh, fire trucks, it's broken. You know? And I mean, the loudest scream I've probably ever let out in my life, and they probably heard that a mile away. For sure, right? Anyways, everybody panicked and everybody came, and it was my cousin Ann that we finally got me into the car with two people carrying me and another person carrying my foot and my leg, and get me into the car. We get to the hospital. So I get to the hospital and they're like, yeah, okay, it's bad. Like, so bad you might actually have to lose your foot. And I'm like, yeah, not having that. If you're not good enough, send me to McMaster. Get me, you know.
Get me some better doctors.
Better doctors. So he took that as a personal challenge, so he did a good job. But anyways, now the feeling is like, you know, like death is now sitting on my chest, you know. I'm laying in the bed in the hospital. They got my foot wrapped in a pillow with an X on it. They're checking the pulse every 15 minutes to make sure I still have a good pulse and whatnot, that I don't have to do emergency surgery any quicker than the next morning. And I'm just saying to my girlfriend at the time, Mary, like, I can't go into surgery. I'm going to die. If I go into surgery right now, I'm going to die. Yeah. You can't let them. Don't let them take me into surgery. Please don't. I was begging. The nurses, the doctors, Mary, anybody that would listen, I was begging them, do not let them take me into that surgery.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to die. Right? in surgery. I'm going to die. So the morning comes and they're prepping me and they're like, you got to do this. Your ankle's really bad. You could, if you wait any longer, you could lose your foot and blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to go. I don't care. I don't want to go. But then an emergency C-section comes in and it pushes my surgery forward.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, good, thank God. Oh my goodness. Okay. So 2 hours later, they come in and we go through all the same argument and everything again. And another emergency C-section comes in and pushes my surgery out again. And I'm
Somebody's
like, oh my
saying
God,
something.
thank God. thank you, whoever's looking after me.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're doing a good job of looking after me. And then a couple hours later comes around and we go through the same argument. Like, I'm like, oh my God, no, you don't understand. If I go into surgery now, I'm going to die. Like, do you not get what I'm telling you? Like, I know it in every fiber of my being. And then something come in with a heart, and I got bumped again. And the heart surgery had to go for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, thank God. And then about a couple hours later, the feeling lifted. And it was the most relief I've ever felt in my life. I've never, ever gone through anything where I felt that relieved, joyful, happy. Like, just, I could have cried. I was that joyful of that relief, that feeling leaving me.
That's crazy.
And I said to my girlfriend at the time, I said, okay, I'm good now. We can go for surgery anytime now. I'm good. She goes, well, what changed? I said, I have no idea. But the feeling's gone. So because the feeling's gone, I'm okay. I'm good. We can move on, right? And a couple of minutes later, the new anesthesiologist comes in to introduce herself and tell me, you know, how it's going to go and what she's going to do, and made me way more comfortable than I was because they weren't giving me enough pain meds anyways.
Yeah.
And I was awesome one. So I believe to this day that if I had had that other anesthesiologist, I'd be dead. There's not a doubt in my mind that was the difference right there. When that changed, that's what
the only
changed the
thing that
feeling.
changed.
That's the only thing that changed. The only thing that changed was
You gotta
that
go what you got
anesthesiologist. So I'm telling you, people, when life is telling you don't go out to dinner tonight with your friends because something bad's gonna happen, do not go out to dinner with your friends, man. Take the heed of the universe, the Lord, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But something is warning you that, and we can't conceive it in our mind.
No, we can't.
What it could be. Like I could, I wouldn't have thought for a minute that that's what it would have been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was thinking I could fall in a hole, a car could hit me.
No, you're right.
All these crazy things. But did I think I was gonna shatter my ankle to the point that I only had a quarter of it left, and my fib and tib would be backwards, and that was not even in the ballpark. It wasn't even
there's
the universe of my thinking, right?
People don't get that sometimes.
We
get all mad because we're always like, people get mad because you're driving in your car and somebody's slowing you down, and you're being an arsehole driver, let's say, right, and you don't know what's going on, right, and you're swearing at them, and I'm bad for that. People doing like 30, 40 under the speed limit, I can just shake their throat. And But that's
then you get
not
up
the
the
kind
road.
of person I'm at, right?
And then you get up the road and there's like a major head-on collision or something, right?
And that's what I'm saying.
And you realize that person slowed you down. It could have been you.
And that's it, right? And then those kind of things, I believe that stuff.
No, me too. Yeah, no, there's mornings you think, like I had a good night's sleep and I still slept through my alarm. And you're rushing to get to work and do all this and not realize that maybe that saved your life that morning.
Well, and that's
because something happened at work or something happened.
There's
wherever,
answers
right?
we'll never have for things. And
sure.
there's questions that we aren't gonna get answered, and that's just the reality of those things. And when it comes to that stuff, always follow your gut.
That's it for tonight, folks.
Yeah.
So like, subscribe, leave a comment. And we're going to be back here next week, too.
Come out with the Cape Bretoners next week and hear our tales of whatever's going on. Well, it's Halloween now. For the next few weeks, for sure, it's going to be all like ghost stories and shit.
So anyways, good night.
Good night.
Take it easy.
Take care.
That's it. And then,
I think that's a good one.
That was